What's up, everybody? It's your buddy Rooster back. What can I say today? Oh, you guys, I want to say thank you for coming in Saturday night after the game for the live postseason or post-game show. I know I showed my frustrations, and I am still very frustrated to watch my team basically in an identity crisis. I don't think anyone and everyone I've listened to can quite figure out what this football team is. You know, you look around the SEC and you look at other teams and you know what their identity is, right? You know, when you go and play Georgia, they're going to play tough defense, try to establish the run, be very physical in their run game, use their wide receivers to the best of their ability. Alabama, tough, had a bad first game, have come back, played good ever since. And you can go through the league and you can point out what the identity is of most of these football teams. But South Carolina does not have one. Man, and I don't know, Beamer ball cannot be your identity. Your identity can't be just special teams. Well, we know one thing about South Carolina, and so every coach says that, and that should tell you something. One thing we know about South Carolina, they're really good on special teams, and Beamer draws up some stuff. And bro, is that what you really want to be known for? The ability to play special teams? You have no offensive identity. You have no defensive identity. There's no voice in the room. There's no player that steps up that's I'm aware of. You don't really see a vocal leader for this team. It's almost like this team is floating in space right now. And it's almost like you watch, they're trying to figure out an identity, and they're also, at the same time, you have players watching other players waiting on someone to make a play. Now, this reminds me of 2023 football team. It was the same exact way. Same exact. We know Rattler was a really good quarterback. We know Lenore's. We went 5-7 with what was considered one of the most talented quarterbacks that South Carolina's ever had in Spencer Rattler. Now what we consider another one of the most talented quarterbacks in the history of South Carolina football, Lenore Sellers, and we don't know what to do. Yes, he makes mistakes. You have to live and die with that. But so do all these other quarterbacks. You're in the SEC. You're going to make mistakes. But there's no one else to pick him up. The defense didn't pick up anything. They couldn't pick up a tackle. I mean, Missouri ran through us basically like running shit through a screen door. And there was nothing we could do about it. Eli Drinkwitz sitting over on the sideline never looked like he was any at loss of control in that football game. He knew at any moment in time, and he tried some passing stuff, and a lot of his short passes worked. But it's like at any time he knew he could just go back to his run game, and we couldn't stop it. And he did it. And there was nothing we could do about it. This team is in a serious, serious identity crisis. And when your head coach doesn't really identify to you what he wants this football team to be, look, I don't want to hear the same old coach speak. Well, we want to be good on offense. We want to be good on defense. We want to be physical on offense. We want to be physical on defense. Every coach says that, man. That's the blanket coach bullshit. You have to establish what your team. Anybody looks at Tennessee, it's Heupel's offense. You know they're going to spread it out. You know they're going to throw it all over the place. You know that about Tennessee. Vanderbilt right now has created identity with Diego Pavia with running these option plays and making it very difficult for teams to identify what they're going to do. And they have three options, whether they can throw it, run it, QB run it. If we lose to Kentucky, South Carolina will be the laughingstock of the SEC. Teams that were projected to be at the bottom of the SEC, you will have lost to one of them. Depending on where you look, it was either supposed to be Mississippi State, who's sitting at 4-0 right now, or Kentucky, you will have lost any respect around this league. People already think South Carolina. I had a comment, South Carolina shouldn't be in the SEC. Man, we've been just as good in the SEC as over half the teams that are in the SEC over the last 25 years. But what does that mean for today? What does that mean for the 2025 season? I mean, I really want to be mad and I really want to rant and rave, but I'm really just embarrassed and confused. I don't know if confused is the right word, but when I look at this team, I feel very confused to almost how do you talk about them? What do you say about them? Okay, the wide receivers caught some balls that were 50-50 and showed promise. Okay. Then where do you go from there? What else was really good about the Missouri game that we could sit here and say, well, I saw promise in this. You can't say it was the running game. You can't say it was the offensive line. I mean, I've seen old ladies at Walmart that can block up a hole better than our offensive line. Seriously. And it's not just the offensive line, the running backs. You know, everyone just assumes every time there's a sack, it's the offensive line. Shit, Rasul missed the ball. I get it. Lenore should have thrown the ball away. Should have never been a sack. But it was Faison that missed the block that let the guy get a free run in there that made the sack. We saw Brady Hunt and some tight ends missing blocks themselves. Are we putting these guys on an island against defensive ends that they should? Well, a tight end should be able to block a defensive end. But, I mean, it's in the technique. It's in the basics. Will you strip this team down and go back to the basics? Is that what we got to do? But honestly, I cannot for the life of me figure out what this football team is. You didn't show that much resilience. All I hear out of Beamer, well, we were leading at halftime. We were leading going into the fourth quarter. But, bro, I know you was leading, but you didn't look good. You had to lead and look like you had no control of this football game. And that's that's such a weird statement. Like, it sounds weird when I say it. You had to lead, but you never looked like you were in control of this football game. And I don't know where to go or what to say about this football team. How do you improve? You know, Beamer used the words definition of insanity. And I said this in a video last week too. Repeatedly doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Bro, for 4 years you have repeatedly, going into the fifth year, repeatedly kept these two clowns we got running this offensive line around this program, and repeatedly we've had the same problems. But repeatedly, you keep bringing them back. So Beamer, take your own advice on this, dude. You're insane. Because you repeatedly keep doing the same thing and you're expecting a different result. If a coach ain't proved it to you in 4, going on 5 years, that they can get the job done, guess what? They can't get the job done. I don't even know how else to explain that. If you are not getting the job done, then you have got to hire somebody else that can. This team has no identity. And Shane Beamer, you have to establish that, dude. You're the head coach. You can't be all over the place in your statements. You know, a couple of years ago, 2023, you're out here attacking the fans. Well, last year you come back with a good year. Everything's hunky-dory. Everybody loves Shane Beamer. Give him an extension. Give him a raise. And then you follow this up with what we've seen on the field. And I don't think people are mad that you are 2-2. I think people are more frustrated and mad because this team just doesn't look good. We've talked about this before. If you go out and lose a football game 38-35, I don't think anyone's that frustrated about it. And you're moving the ball, and you had some running game, and you were able to pass the ball around a little bit, and your defense, you know, maybe gave up a big play or something. Bro, we're just getting mollywopped. And I'm tired of excuses. Well, the offense ain't moving the ball. The defense gets tired. That is true. Then do something about it as a coach. Where we keep making mental mistakes. Well, park some asses on the bench, dude. Find the guys that want to be on the field. That's going to focus. That's going to concentrate. I don't care if they're the most talented as long as they got the most heart. Connor Shaw wasn't the most talented quarterback in the history of South Carolina, but he was the best because he had the heart and the will to win. And I don't think these guys have the heart or the will to win. And I don't know where it comes from. Is it just softness? Is it baby shit soft? I don't know. But some of these, I mean, do you got to cut off the internet? Do you got, take away the air conditioning? Something to toughen these guys up? Something to get somebody to step up and say, this is going to be the identity of this football team from now on. Someone with some anger that says this is it. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I think Shane Beamer's missing Pete Limbo. I think Pete Limbo is a big miss from this football team. And I know you say, well, he went to Buffalo prior to last year. I just don't know if there's somebody else on this team that has that in them to be able to sit down and talk to these guys and get their mind right. Because right now, I don't think the mind's right. I don't know if we need to just I bring in someone that works with people that when you're getting mental blocks or whatever. I'm not saying they need to all go to psychiatrists, but we got to do something. And I don't even know how to. I'm telling you right now, we lose Kentucky, you're the laughingstock of the SEC, Shane Beamer. And I might be the one leading the Beamer ball as a bust bandwagon. I just, it's so confusing to me with the talent that is on this football team. The talent that you told us was on this football team. The things that you keep telling us. Oh, we had a good fall camp. We've had good weeks of practice, and then we don't play good. Something is off with this football team. And everybody said, well, Rooster, you ain't no coach. You don't know. Fuck, I ain't no veterinarian. What's old Jay Hickman say? I ain't no veterinarian, but I know a horse's ass when I see it. We all have eyes. We know something's off. I can't put my finger on it because it looks like it's too much to try to figure out once. I cannot fathom how there was enough returning players and enough good players and enough good recruits on this football team that we are repeatedly making the same mistakes. And it is as simple as just blocking assignments. Is this offense too complicated for people to figure out who the hell they're supposed to block? Is that a problem? I don't know. I don't know the verbiage that they use when they call plays. Are the blocking schemes too complicated? I mean, Lenore Sellers says, well, they know what we're about to do. So they know our tendencies? I thought we went back and we did self-evaluations and all this stuff and found out if we had tendencies. Is that not working anymore? Does Mike Schuler need to be up in the damn booth? We talked about that last week, too, where he can survey the whole field and see what's going on. He's one of the very few offense coordinators besides the head coaches that call plays that is not in the booth. So I don't know. Is it an NFL offense? I mean, every time I look at the NFL, look, in NFL, when we say that, pro-style NFL-type offense, let me tell y'all something. The NFL has integrated college offenses now, especially with the really athletic quarterbacks that we see now in the NFL. This ain't the old days of the Joe Montanas, and Elway did have some run in his game, but he wasn't the most athletic guy. The Tom Brady's and those type guys. Now you got the Lamar Jacksons and all these really athletic quarterbacks. Hell, even big-ass Josh Allen has got some athletic ability about himself. Well, he's smart. He knows when to run. So they're integrating these college offenses into the NFL. We're just not getting it. And I've heard some people talking about today about all the bunch sets and having everybody too close to the football. Well, that is what we did with Satterfield. But we've also talked about everybody was all over, well, we need to get Logan's logbook, Darryl Logan's log playbook. Brother, you have that. But honestly, without Lenore Sellers being Superman and breaking sacks last year and breaking away from things and being able to run the football and breaking tackles and doing what he did, that offense wasn't that great either. And that offensive line was terrible. We know that. They gave up 44 sacks last year. Almost dead-ass last in college football. So what? Insanity, Shane Beamer. Please tell us, as fans, what change are you going to make to stop the insanity? That's what we want to know. Since you want to bring up insanity, what changes are you making? Because you ain't made one at offensive line, and this offensive line's been terrible. Poor Spencer Rattler's got PTSD, and now he's at New Orleans, and they have no offensive line. It's not changed. Something in this game's not changed. So it's either you, Shane Beamer, because you ain't changed. It's either what you got going on with Teasley and, as Jackpot says, Fat Iron Anderson, the two offensive line coaches you got haven't changed. And you're getting the same results from this O-line. Last year, same thing. We had running backs missing blocks. We had tight ends missing blocks. Bro, if this scheme is so complicated that nobody can figure out who in the hell they're supposed to block, maybe it's too complicated. Just go four wide receivers and forget all the rest of the bullshit. Just go air raid gunslinger style if you have to, and put a hat on a hat. I just don't know what else to say. And yes, I apologize a couple times about, because Clayton White improved the defense so much last year that I took him off the hot seat because I was so frustrated in 2023. I did call for him to get fired. And I ain't too sure before the end of this year I ain't going to call for it again, because we're back to the basics on defense we can't do either, which is can tackle. We can't tackle. And I hate coming. I want to be on here and be happy. I want to laugh at y'all. I want to make jokes. Hey, you know what the joke is? Let us lose to Kentucky this week. We're going to be the running joke in the SEC. And that's a fact. The running damn joke. I want to win football games. Or at least watch a football game that's fun. We just want to win. I know we just want to win. But we're not. We might be lucky to go 1-7 in the SEC. Right now we're looking at trending at a 4-win season, 5-win season. I mean, I almost to the point with this team is, I don't know. When do these kids really quit? At what point do we look so bad this season? Did the kids on the team quit? I got a feeling it's coming because I ain't seen no heart in most of them yet. So what makes you think they're going to have heart to stick it out when this team looks like it has zero chance to get to postseason? I don't know. I'm telling you this, if I'm Lenore Sellers, and you can call me a quitter if you want to, but if this team looks like they're going to be a 5-7 football team come November, I'm done to the NFL draft. I'm going to go start prepping myself for the NFL draft. There's no need for you to stick around and take a chance getting hurt against Coastal Carolina and Clemson. I'm out, brother. Y'all can call it, yes. Oh, that's the coward way to be, Rooster. You play every football game. No, I'm looking out for my life and my career. That's what I'm looking out for. Y'all tell me whatever you want to. You got to look out for your family, brother. One thing we know in life, what comes first? God. What comes second? Family. What comes third? Probably for most of these kids is football. But football is your career and your life and your future. You got to look out for that, because that's what takes care of your family. But y'all can tell me I'm wrong. I don't give a shit. I'm just I'm so burnt out on what I saw. We're going to preview the Kentucky game the rest of this week. We're going to do all that. But I'm just so burnt out on the snake oil, sell ice to Eskimo bullshit that I hear in most of these things. And to hear our quarterback say that they know what other teams know what we're doing. Tendencies, brother. And Beamer himself said, well, we're just kind of running the same plays, so I don't understand. Well, obviously everybody watched film. And you're playing the same teams you played last year. You think they figured it out, dummy? Why don't we try something different? We're going to run different variations. Okay. Don't do no good if you can't block. And I'm not blaming it all on the offensive line. Running backs need to do better. Tight ends need to do better. Wide receivers need to block better. Shit, somebody needs to block. But anyway, that's my rant for today. We got to do better. And we need to find an identity. And you better find one quick. Quick. Or you're about to be the laughingstock in the SEC. Hey, everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate everybody that comes over here, watch the videos. If you disagree with what I said, put it in the comment section. If you agree with what I said, put it in the comment section. But we'll holler at y'all later. Have a beautiful rest of your day.